Ms. Nicholson, you understand that in your testimony today that it's expected that though you haven't sworn an oath that your answers will be fulsome and truthful?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I do.
You sent an email to Minister Jolie's Chief of Staff on June 17th, and you said both CNGNY, HOM. Can you just give those acronyms for us quickly?
Certainly. CNGNY refers to how we refer to the consulate.
And HOM is?
The head of mission.
Right. Both CN, GNY, HOM, and staff have been instrumental throughout this process, with the HOM providing the green light for the selection of the new residents. Did you personally have knowledge of Mr. Clark's personal involvement, or was that relayed to you? And if someone related to you, who was that?
Mr. Chair, as I stated in my opening remarks, my role is to summarize the information that is provided to me at the best available information at that time.
Okay, who provided the information to you?
In gathering the information to convey and respond to the Minister's office, I engaged with the property branch.
Okay, who in the property branch?
Mr. Chair, my interaction was with Robin Dubois, the Assistant Deputy Minister for the Property Branch.
And that's the only person?
Mr. Chair, I also engaged with members of his team, including the Director General for Policy and Planning of the Property Branch.
And that is?
That person is Frank. And apologies to Frank, I won't be able to say his last name correctly, Huzang Ngabe.
On July 24th, this committee passed a sweeping accountability motion on this $9 million condo purchase for a Liberal insider during a cost of living crisis here in Canada. And then the following day, you issued a bogus correction to your June 17th email. And in that correction, you say that neither the head of mission was, and you say PRNMY nor CNGNY was part of the selection or approval process for the overall process or the property purchase. And so just so we're clear, you wrote this email that I'm referring to from July 25th, 2024, and you wrote the email that I previously referenced on June 17th, 2024. Those, I accurately quoted you in both?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I drafted those emails.
Okay. So in the first email, ma'am, you say both CNGNY, HOM, and staff have been instrumental throughout the process, with the HOM providing the green light for the selection of the new residents. That's not a typo. It's not a comma instead of a semicolon. That's very deliberate language. You're the head of mission providing the green light. Who instructed you to issue the correction that you issued on the 25th, the day after the motion was passed by the committee?
Mr. Chair, no one instructed me to make a correction.
Okay, so you'll have to elaborate, ma'am. The timeline is beyond curious. June 17th, you explicitly say the head of mission greenlit the project. July 24th, the committee issues the invitation for Mr. Clark to appear, and the next day, you suddenly your mind is cast back more than a month to issue a correction to the email that you sent, just of your own volition.
Mr. Chair, as I said in my opening remarks, the term green light, well, first I think it's important to remember the context in which the first email was drafted.
With all due respect, ma'am, the question was about the genesis of the so-called correction email that you sent. Did you do this entirely of your own undertaking without discussion, consultation, or instruction with anyone?
Mr. Chair, as I mentioned in my opening remarks, I work with the best available information provided at the time. After issuing the initial June 15th or 17th email that was, as I mentioned, an initial overview, the Office of the Associate requested the leads to go through and pull together a more detailed chronology of events. And once that information was available, I relayed that information to the Minister's office. No one asked me to correct anything. I relayed the best available information that was presented to me at the time.
Who told you that Mr. Clark was not involved?
Mr. Chair, the records of from the property branch demonstrated that the Consul General was aware of the process, but not involved or in a decision-making role.
Yeah, I've got to tell you that's quite the reversal. You effectively swallowed yourself whole in this correction that you issued within a day of this committee having Mr. Clark ordering him to appear. And I'm just going to quote you back to yourself. The head of mission providing the green light for the selection of the new residents. That was based on the best available information that was provided to you at the time, but the information that you received a month later, a day after this committee passed the motion, is a complete reversal of that. Will you table for this committee all correspondence, written, electronic, or otherwise, related to this issue, and specifically to the July 25th subject matter that you write on?
Mr. Chair, of course, I'm happy to provide
Thank you very much.
Material that would be useful.
Thank you. And our committee has passed a motion. We require any requested documents within 3 weeks, 3 calendar weeks, not business weeks. We will now go to Mr. Jouari for 6 minutes, please.